Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impression on the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover. Sorry if my voice sounds a little funny, I just caught a cold. We're away on vacation for Christmas for almost 2 weeks. Stayed healthy the whole time we were there, and on the way back I caught a cold. So that stinks. We're just gonna power through. So if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you already know that I am in love with the Infallible Pro Matte, and I really enjoy the Infallible Pro Glow as well, even though I do have oily skin. I powder this one a lot and I still get a little bit of a dewy glow from it. This one is totally matte and amazing, and I love it, and it's my favorite day-to-day foundation. This one, the Infallible Pro Cover, is in a little bit different tube. Still same look to it. They all have 1 fluid ounce. The difference between all of these is this one's demi matte. I would say it's fully matte. This one is a radiant finish, and this one is a natural finish. These all claim to be 24-hour wear. Coverage for these two is medium. Coverage for this one is supposed to be high. And then the texture for all three is airlight. I would say that's true of both of these. I'm a little bit interested to see what this one's like, because this one seems to be a little bit more of a moussey consistency. See that, how it's just sitting on my hand like it's just a lump. It's a little moussey, whereas the other two go on very liquidy. So I'm interested to see if this is an airlight finish like those. It's quite a bit thicker, although it does feel pretty light. Blends out really nice on my hand. It looks like it's pretty good coverage. I'm excited to try this out because, like I said, the other two Infallibles I absolutely love. I've just been waiting for this one to come out. I wasn't sure when it was going to come out in Canada. I know it's been out in the States for a while. So I was in Superstore yesterday and they had a display of these, and then they had the concealer palettes too, but I'm not interested in those because I've heard they're not great. So I just picked up the foundation. So how I'm going to do this today is I'm going to put this on half my face with a beauty blender and on half my face with a brush. I am going to prime my face because I always prime under my foundation, and then throughout the day I'm going to do check-ins to see how it's lasting on my skin. And let's get into this. So I picked up the color 301 because they all go by, like this one's, the matte one is 101, the glow one is 20. I actually have 202 here because I bought it in the summer and that was my shade in the summer. So I just automatically picked up 301. Classic Ivory. I'm going to do this half of my face with a sponge. This is the Quo sponge. It comes in a little trio of mini sponges, and this is the closest thing I found to a beauty blender, and it's way cheaper. So I'm just going to quickly prime my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizer and concentrate that on my nose and cheek area where my biggest pores are. Okay, so going in with a beauty sponge first, just putting a dollop of that on. And woo, spreading it around. It's interesting using a sponge with something that's a little bit moussier of a texture. It doesn't spread quite as well as the more liquidy versions of this, but it is going on pretty nice. So coverage is okay. I wouldn't say it's any more than the Pro Matte. I would say this is still a medium coverage because you can still see some of my redness through this. So I'd say it's about the same coverage as the other two. For the other side, I'm going to be using my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Same thing, a little dollop on there. Such a weird texture. This goes on really nice with the brush. Usually when I use a brush I get a few brush strokes. This one doesn't seem to be doing too bad for brush strokes. So I think it applies pretty similarly with the brush and with the beauty blender. So I think I would probably just end up using a beauty blender, or not a beauty blender, a beauty sponge, because that's what I like to apply my foundation with. Again, it's no more coverage on this side than it is on this side. There are a few places where it's kind of clumping up around my nose, just because it is a thicker formula and it's trying to get in the crevices there. Well, so far I'd say I like it. Yeah, it went on nicely. It's just a different texture to work with compared to the Pro Matte and the Pro Glow. Because as you can see, these ones are very liquidy. They almost go a longer way because they are so liquidy. Whereas this one's very moussey, and so it goes on. I don't know, I feel like I had to use a bit more of this. I'm gonna see if I can go over some of these areas a little bit and build it up without it moving around on me. So I'm just putting a little bit more on my sponge. I don't really feel like that helped any. It does start to look a little bit cakey when you put on a second layer. So I wouldn't bother doing a second layer. I would just go in and spot conceal. I'm going to put the concealer on and see how my concealer works with this. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and we'll see how this goes on top. Okay, so I can already see it sinking into my forehead lines a little bit and into my smile lines a little bit, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm going to powder it up and see how that goes. I'm having a hard time getting it to go around my nose ring as well. Concealer went on nicely on top of it. Does cling to the little dry patches I have in here a little bit. Also, it says it's supposed to be a natural finish, so it's supposed to just look like skin. I would say this is more matte. You can definitely tell you got foundation on with this. It feels really light on the face, but it looks heavier than it feels. Like I find with the Pro Matte, it doesn't look quite as cakey as this. It's not super cakey, but it's definitely noticeable that you're wearing foundation, if you know what I mean. So it's not too bad, but you're not going to be wearing this on your no makeup days. Okay, I'm going to go finish the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and let you know what I think. Okay, so now that I have finished my face, I actually feel like I like it more. Once I put the powder on, it actually seemed to be more of a natural finish almost, which seems weird because you powder to look more matte, but I actually feel like it gave it a better, smoother finish. It's kind of weird. So with powder on, I actually am liking this more. It still is kind of settled into my forehead lines, which is weird because I actually don't get settling in my forehead lines very often. I usually can't even see forehead lines. Not sure how I feel about that, but it looks really good on the rest of my face. I still don't think I love it as much as the Pro Matte, but I think I would probably wear this. I'm going to wear this for the whole day. It is 11:13 right now, so I'm going to wear it throughout the day. I'll do some check-ins later in the day and let you know how it wears, if it starts breaking up, if it comes off, if it, whatever. We'll see what it does throughout the day. So I will check back with you guys a little bit later. Okay, it has been about 5 hours since I put my makeup on, and it is definitely still sunk into my forehead lines, which I don't love because that kind of ages me, because normally you can't even see that. And it's started gathering around my nose. I did touch up a little bit around my nose because I have a cold and I've been blowing my nose, so I did a little bit of a touch up. It's also gathering in my smile lines. It's not looking shiny or anything, which is good. It's starting to separate a little bit on my chin. From far away it looks fine. Like if I was to, I would still go out in public like this. People aren't going to be like this at your face. So it's still wearable. It's just little things that I would notice and would bug me. So I'll check in a couple of hours again. Okay guys, it is now, what time is it? 10:15. So my makeup has been on for 11 hours now, and it's looking a hot mess. It's actually not that bad. Oh, I got some supper on my chin. These lights are so bright right now. Just been chilling upstairs watching YouTube videos and procrastinating filming this last check-in. But it hasn't gotten any more patchy on my chin. I feel like it's starting to break up a little bit on my cheeks. I'm starting to see some more of the redness peeking through. It's still settled in my nose lines, but you know what? It's not actually that much worse than when I did my 4-hour check-in. It is breaking up a little bit in between my eyes where I have a little bit of dryness. But you know what? For my first impression, not a bad foundation, but I personally would stick with the Pro Matte version of this, or the Pro Glow if you have drier skin. If you have either of those foundations and you love them, I wouldn't even bother trying this. That's my final thoughts. I think that's the end of the video. So if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please go subscribe so you can see all my future videos. I will be trying to post 2 videos a week again very soon here, so stay tuned. Bye guys, see you next time.